Okay, what? How do you keep yourself accountable every week? What do you do to make it a system that actually creates results in your life? Is that something that you actually do? And most people don't, which is fine too. I guess it depends on what you want and the things that you are looking to get. But ultimately, for me, one of the things that I have done is in Warrior, we do what's called the GT, or the General's Tent, each week. And we just basically hold ourselves accountable in the software that asks you a bunch of questions like, hey, what was your score here? What did you get done for the week? Did you hit what we call the doors and the hits, which is the one door? If you can open one major door per week, every week, by doing certain things that actually open that door, meaning you accomplish one big target for the week. If you did that across, say you took 2 weeks of vacation and you didn't do it, but say you did it across 50 weeks, you would create so much progress in your life, in your business, if you dedicated it to each domain of body, being, balance, business. Across those 4 things, if you just hit one door across one of those each week for 50 weeks, and specifically for us, we do it for business, but I'm just throwing that out there because each target for different people might be different, and what you can actually accomplish within that target could also be different, right? And so it's interesting though, because it definitely holds you accountable, but it also shows you where you're deficient, and it also shows you where you're making progress. And a lot of times it's easy to be like, oh, I didn't hit this target, or I didn't get this done. And it's actually really easy to do that, but it's easier and more glaringly obvious when you are working through the software, and the software tells you like, hey, you said you were going to do this, but you didn't, you did this instead. And sometimes that's okay, right? Like sometimes that's okay, depending on if you found power in the week. And so sometimes, so we have a scoring system and it's 60. So if you hit everything throughout the week, including all your doors, you hit 60. And sometimes 60 is amazing. Sometimes 60 is just checking the boxes. Sometimes you hit a 51 and you had the most productive week you've ever had, and it's been so freaking beautiful. So the score is an outline, kind of a guideline to help you understand the things that you're shooting for and the targets that you're trying to hit. But really, I mean, it's not about the score, it's about the production within the score. And the score is designed to help you understand where you are hitting your targets and where you might not be. But ultimately, like I've hit 48 sometime out of 60 and had the most productive and best possible freaking week and just got a ton of stuff done. And I've hit 60s that are easy weeks that I'm like, okay, well, I don't really feel like I got a lot done. It was easy and I hit the targets and I checked the boxes. And that's the worst thing that you can really do, is just check the boxes because it's easy and you're supposed to do something, right? And just because you're supposed to do it doesn't mean that it actually is serving you in relation to what you are accomplishing during that week. And so the GT is a reflection of what you got accomplished during that week, holding yourself accountable to what you said you were going to do. Did you actually do it? And then the next step is the next week. Like, what are you going to do in the upcoming week? And are you going to do it? So this week is a little bit of a different week. Up front, my front of this week is loaded with a ton of like business development and meetings and stuff like that, which is awesome, amazing. And then it goes into a little bit of fun, and then an all-day conference for multiple days in a row. And so, of course, it's via Zoom, but it should actually be really good. It's called the Pivot Protocol, and what that is, it's called a fact map. And what the fact map is it's just really telling you like, hey, this is where you're at. Like, this is the fact. These are the facts of your situation in body, being, balance, and business. And you want to hit like a certain target. Are you willing to do the work that is required to hit that target? Because this is where you're at in this moment right now, and these are the facts of the situation. And then what are you willing and able to do above and beyond that for hitting your targets and getting to the point where you want as far as the next steps of where you might go. So the pivot protocol and the fact map in this situation for me is like the perfect freaking time. It's at the end of the first half of this year, and really you get to look back and see like, hey, what did I actually accomplish in the first half of this year versus what am I looking to hit as far as targets at the end of this year? How did I do? All factual, right? Like numbers based, like what do you weigh? What is your body fat percentage, right? In your business, how much have you made? What do you have as far as accounts receivables go? What are you paying in taxes? What have you saved? And so like just a bunch of stuff that is really easy to quantify and track. It's super helpful. So like for me, at the end of the first half of this year, rolling into the second half of this year, and what I can do to really accomplish the things that I want is extraordinary. And it really starts with every single day. Like, what are you doing daily? Then what are you doing weekly? So like the General's Tent is a weekly thing. We have what's called the core and the door daily. So if you hit your daily every single day and you're consistent, you'll hit your weekly. If you're hitting your weekly every single week and you're consistent, you're gonna hit your monthly. And if you're hitting your monthly every month and you're consistent, you're gonna hit your quarterly, right? And then if you hit your quarterly, you're gonna hit your 6 months, biannually. And then if you hit that and you continue the progress and the consistency of day to day, week to week, month to month, quarter to quarter, 6 months, then the year automatically takes care of itself. But the thing is, it all comes down to today. Every single one of those targets, every single one of those projected things that we're looking to shoot for and hit starts with today. It starts doing the work today, because today is the only day that matters. Tomorrow, not promised. Yesterday, who gives a shit? It is gone. The thing is, all we can do is impact today. So as long as we stay in that present and know that, hey, yes, I want to be really good and hit my weekly, but the only way I can do that is if I do what I need to do today. That's where it's at. So I leave you with this, my friends. Where in your life do you need to be more consistent on the daily so you can hit the weekly and then the monthly and then the quarterly and then the yearly, right? Stay consistent today and it'll pay off so well, so much in the future.